Aloha, welcome back to paganpages.org's YouTube channel. This is Jonathan Dailey. I am the official unboxer of decks at Pagan Pages, and the amazing witches over there at the Pagan Pages headquarters sent me this bag full of decks. I somehow have made it through. We are now down to the final 5th deck, and the reason why I wanted to save this, in fact, I made the card camera rather wide, much wider than normal. I'm not even sure how I did that. But this is the Celtic Book of the Dead by Caitlín Matthews, illustrated by Danuta Meyer. So the reason why I have the widescreen here, let me just get this open when I'm chatting to you, is because this deck is actually one that I have had for quite a while. Don't always use them, but I've had the deck since truthfully, I'm not even sure. So here is the first edition. So this is the first edition. I got it in the 90s. I think this was the first US edition from 91. I believe I got it in, I think that was 91. Came with this nice hard back with a reading cloth and cards, right? Let me just see. So this is the Celtic Book of the Dead, a guide for your voyage to the Celtic Otherworld. So a Thomas Doon book by St. Martin's Press. And it's 92. First US edition, May of 92. So I probably would have gotten it in 95, 96, I want to say. So as you can tell, it is, I didn't really use it much just because, I don't know, I was still learning the tarot at the time, and I really wanted to focus on that. And I kept meaning to come back to this, and I've moved this so many times. But actually, instead of closing it, maybe we should compare the two, right? First, let's open this. This is way different, first of all, the box. This is just this flimsy, like, I'm surprised it's still together kind of box from the 90s. And then this is a much more durable cardboard. It's a drawer, right? And instead of a cloth, we have paper, which is, that's okay. It was a nice thick paper. I'm sure it's probably the same as the cloth. I'm glad to have the cloth, truthfully. No, instead of a hardback, we get a nice soft cover. But I'm guessing it's probably pretty much the same. Oh no, the deck exploded in here. Okay, let's get that off. Go. That is the backs of the deck. They are not edged. I would edge them in like a dark blue, probably myself. And let's get a little more space here. So that there. So I try to put these back in order. Don't know that I did, though. Six. Okay. Sure, like those at the front, well, they're not on the front here. Okay, so there's 2 cards here. Yeah, I shouldn't have made it so broad. Okay, Bring the video down. Look away if you get seasick. There we go. Should be good. So you can see here, this one comes with these extra cards that are not numbered. I'm guessing they're in the back of this. This original deck has sharp edges, whereas the new version is very rounded. And as you can see, I think the older deck is a little more saturated with color. And the backs are different, obviously. But it looks like it's pretty much the same artwork. It looks pretty much the same. Like I said, just the original has the sharp points, and the new one is not quite as saturated. And sometimes the non-saturated actually is a little softer to the eye. So this system, let me see, find the box I can make the back to you all. I'm kind of flipping through cards here. Oh, oops. I forgot it's a drawer. I'll compare the cloth to the paper too as well. So Celtic Book of the Dead. I'm wondering how similar the backs are. Definitely different because the back's been updated. I do like the coloration of the original, but I have to say that the cardstock feels nicer to the touch with the new one. Voyage through the Celtic Underworld to discover your path ahead. It is a brand new, updated edition of this classic oracle. Features 42 beautifully illustrated cards based upon the ancient Irish text of the Voyage of Maelduin. While the Tibetan and Egyptian books of the dead are recognized as well-known guides to the afterlife, few people realize that the Celtic Imram, or voyage stories, reveal an indigenous tradition that allows us to journey on our own voyage of self-discovery. The cards in this pack can be used in conjunction with the book in a variety of ways, whether as an oracle to discover the path ahead, a guide to the soul's direction, a meditation tool for personal and environmental healing, also as a book of the dead for the dying and the soul midwives who attend them. These windows between worlds will steer you through obstacles and challenges to help you map the progress of your plans and navigate your way through the shoals of life. The original back says, take a voyage in the company of Celtic heroes to find your life's direction. The Celtic Book of the Dead is your guide to the mystical realms of the Celtic Otherworld, where the fullness of personal potential becomes clear. This is not a morbid journey, but a voyage to islands with plenteous salmon, feasting halls, and pillars of silver rising from the sea. There are challenges too, but each has its lesson for our lives today. Island of the Forge. Sea of Glass. I should not have blown up the camera like I did. Let me see just real quick here. The evil. Let me see if I can fix this for us, because this is a little kind of crazy here. That's better. Okay, hope that's better for everyone else. Stop that. It's better. So it looks like the light is glaring more on here, but truthfully in person, I see more of a glare off this one. Let's see, this is how reflective that one is in comparison to this one. I really haven't used this deck truthfully, but I think now that I have both copies, I think it's time for me to start really diving deep. I'm wondering if those extra cards, that's the other thing. Just wanted to zip through here, see if there's any changes. So far the cards have all been pretty identical. I guess the art has been a little cleaned up and it's not quite as saturated. Because some of these are a little oversaturated, I will admit. And the sharp edges or sharp points don't help with wanting to shuffle either. So far, it seems like it's same. Like I said, the first two in this deck. Oh, there. Okay. Let me see. There we go. Boop. Boop. Yes. Okay, so that's where those were for. They were out of. That's so weird. I thought I had put everything in order. I don't know. There's something about this. There's richer color. Some of them it's I think better than the saturation here. But then in others, I think that it's almost the same. So we have the numbered, and then we have the unnumbered cards. Let's compare. Obviously, the older version, the image is a little bit bigger. Part of that is because the newer cards are just a smidge taller and wider. And obviously the font has changed. Let me know in the comments. Did you get this deck? Have you been playing with it? What do you think? I really would like to know. And before I continue, I did say, let's back off a smidge. I wanted to compare the two reading surfaces. So sorry for the shakiness. So this is the cloth version here. It does feel like a nice thick cloth, but I will admit that I am appreciative of having the fabric. So this is a specific spread that you're supposed to do with the deck. Actually, have this upside down. So, there we go. So circle here, a couple up the top there. So that's the paper. And then this is the cloth version, which truthfully the silver is starting to fade a little, but it is nice to have the cloth version. So even if I do end up using the new version, I think I'll stick with using the cloth, just because I feel like it'll hold up a little better than paper. But the paper itself is a nice thick paper. It seems like it should hold up to heavy use. It's almost like cover paper for a paperback, almost that kind of thickness of paper. Yeah, paperback. I like the paperback cover, maybe a little bit thinner than that. But yeah. So those are those two. I will. I'm glad that I have the cloth. Not that this is bad. It's just I find paper, especially these that you have to fold them too many times, where the fold is and it's like ripping. Whereas with cloth, I don't think you have to worry about that quite as much. But the other thing that I do appreciate about the new set is that all the cards sit together in one slot here versus that's the here we go. This is how this one came, right? So the deck, you can actually see exactly where it was split because it's been sitting for so long. It's a dome. Right? So it's been sitting there for so long that you can tell when it's not shuffled together. Right? And then came a little spot to the cloth. And the big heavy books or something. Let's compare the books before we go. So the old book is hardback, as you can see. And the new one is a much smaller paperback. So let's compare the sizes here. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to see how much has been updated. So this is copyright 2022. So I'm guessing that Caitlín probably, I'm guessing that she rewrote most of the book is my guess. Let's see, introduction. Yeah, it is. It does look like it is pretty much the same. I'm sure she probably went through, Caitlín probably went through and, did a little editing here and there when it was needed. But it looks like it's pretty much the same book, just a smaller, more compact version. So there's probably a few more pages in here. I'm not sure how much extra got put in, but 160 in the new book and the original book, which is bigger. So, and it does have a blank spreadsheet in the back, so you can print out in case you need it. 136. So there's obviously part of it is just the size difference, but I think another part of it is Caitlín probably. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Caitlín or Catherine? Was able to really get in there, edit anything that needed to be edited. And I don't know if you have heard of the Celtic Book of the Dead. I read this quite a bit when I first got it. Truthfully, it's like I said, it's been sitting on the shelf. I should have been using it more than I do. But like I said, this would probably be a nice little fire under my butt to get me start playing with the system again. But yeah, let me know. Did you get the Celtic Book of the Dead Oracle? And what do you think of it? Have you been using it? What have your experiences been? Please leave your comments down below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for watching this. This has been fun comparing the two sets. It's making me want to jump back in and start playing again. And I think I might have to put that cloth into a new box. Maybe. I'm going to have to think about it. So let me know. Do you have the original? Did you pick up the new one? What do you think of the two versions? Or, you know, if you have never heard of this before, let me know your thoughts. I want to know what you think about this Celtic Book of the Dead. Not many people think of the Celtic Book of the Dead because, like Caitlin said, most people think, you know, the Egyptian Book of the Dead or the Mayan Book of the Dead, or, you know, that's usually what most people think of as those things. But there is a Celtic Book of the Dead. So, and now it is in oracle form. Yes, please share your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, aloha and blessed be.